Hi everyone, how are you doing today?
Hey guys. Hey Natalie.
How's it going, Shelly?
Great. Great. How are you?
Good, good. So easy to, it's so much easier to do a webinar than it is to do these Facebook Lives.
Exactly.
All right, so I see everyone trickling in. While you're trickling in, can you let us know that you can hear us? Let us know that you can see us, and maybe let us know where you're joining us from. You can let us know in the chat. All right, loud and clear.
Minnesota,
Perfect.
Seattle, Bay Area.
Ohio,
Wow.
Houston.
New Jersey,
Perfect.
Texas.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Brenda. I know I missed some of you here. It's going fast. Leslie joining us from Texas, Dallas, Texas. Perfect. I'm glad you're all here. Shelly and I are really excited. We love doing these. We love jumping on, talking to you guys about some of the features that sometimes they're new, sometimes they're just maybe features that you haven't played around with yet before. This is a new feature. We're going to be talking to you guys and diving deeply into group chat and what that means for keeping your clients engaged while they're working with you. So we're really excited to be talking about this newer feature today, answering all the questions that come up. I know there have been a lot of questions leading up to the launch of group chat. So if you have questions, definitely let us know. Ask those questions in the chat. Actually, can you ask those questions over in the Q&A section? I think it'll be easier for us to keep organized and make sure we can get to as many of your questions as possible. So for those of you who are not, who don't know us that well, just kind of reintroduce ourselves. My name is Natalie. I am the co-founder of Practice Better, and I am joined today by Shelly Myers, our business success coach. Hello again.
Hi everybody.
And we are going to, now that we know everyone's able to hear us, how do we get to the Q&A section? At the bottom of your screen, there should be, at least it's on the bottom of my screen. So if it's not, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, if you have it condensed, you can click on the three dots that say more and you'll see Q&A under that.
Got it. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so we're all on the same page. I'm going to turn my screen, my camera off so I can share my screen with you, and you won't be distracted by all the faces I make when I walk you through this stuff. So let me go ahead and share my screen and turn my, whoops, stop video. All right. Okay, can I get a confirmation that everyone can see my Practice Better screen?
No.
Yes, Jerry sees it. Brenda, I can see it. Leandro, yes. Maureen, yes. Perfect. Awesome. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, today we are talking about boosting your engagement with group messaging. So this is one of the newer features that we just launched. And basically the thing, there are a couple of reasons, right? So one of the big reasons being is not everyone is using social media. Not everyone's on the same platform, but what we do know is when they're in your group programs, they're in Practice Better. So we always want to think about what's the best experience, what's the best user experience for your clients, and that of course is being able to do as much from one place as possible. So we've added not just the one-on-one chat, but now we've added the ability to communicate with multiple clients, multiple group participants from the platform, in not just a convenient way, but also a secure way. So you're not losing any of the HIPAA compliance by doing the group chat, and that's obviously a big component when we're talking about health and wellness topics, and we might be, sharing any health information as well. So that's the big reason why we've developed the group communication in the form of a group chat. There are you've got two options in terms of how we're going to actually build our group chats.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can do both the direct message style, which is very similar to the way that you message your clients one-on-one. So it's just a direct message back and forth. The newest messages will be at the bottom. If you select the feed style, that is very similar to what you're used to if you do use Facebook groups or other social media groups where you have somebody post an image or post some text, and then you have people commenting, and you can, tag people and comment back to them. And then the newest messages will be at the top on the feed style.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the two ways you can do your group chats. Before I go in and show you how easy it is to get them set up, is anyone on today using the group chat? Is anyone already using this with any of your clients? Let us know in the chat here. Okay. Not yet. No, not yet. Brendan, no. Perfect. It is new. We just launched this. So, all right. So while I've perfectly introduced some version of it. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to how do we get started, okay? It's really easy. So there are a couple ways. The first thing is you want to go to your messenger page. Okay, so there are a couple ways you can get there. You can go to, at the top of your Practice Better portal, you've got the little icon next to the bell, which just looks like a messenger, or a message, pardon me. You can click on that, and it's going to take you to your messages. You can click on the Messages tab in the white navigation bar underneath where you see Better, My Clients, My Schedule. So you've got messages. Or you can also launch it from your messenger in the bottom right-hand corner. So no shortage of ways to get to the messenger page. So if we click on, let's say, the messenger in the bottom right-hand corner, just going to click on the arrow to maximize the chat, and this brings us to our page. Okay. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got our fast action button, right? This is our go-to button. And we're just going to say new group chat. So the second option in this list is a new group chat. We'll talk about broadcasts a bit later, but we're going to say new group chat now. And then you can name your group chat, just like you would do again if you were creating a group within Facebook or creating a group within WhatsApp or whatever platform you're using, right? So if I'm just going to say new group chat, because I don't think I have one called that, just for the heck of it. Now, as Shelly mentioned, we have those two styles of how we want to run our chats, right? There's the direct message style, which says direct chat, or feed. Okay, so as Shelly mentioned in both, when we're talking about that direct chat style, the most recent messages are going to show up at the bottom, right? Whereas if we're doing the feed option, the most recent responses or posts, pardon me, will be at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to select feed so you get an idea of what it's going to look like. So you have a couple options in terms of creating a thumbnail for your group chat, okay? So at the moment you can't customize these simply because it's really difficult to get the right parameters to make, whatever image you want that small. So we do have a couple options like the ones that you have when you run a group program, or otherwise I believe it'll say the number of clients. It'll say the first number or letter in the name of the group, okay? So let's do this nice healthy shake. Okay, so now we have the name of our group chat, we decided what the style will be like, and then the third thing we want to think about is how do we want clients to see the names that are displayed of the other participants, okay? So the default is going to say the first and last name, first and last initial. So if our client's name is Mary Smith, it's going to say Mary S. Okay, so you're going to see Mary Smith's full name, but the other participants in this group chat will only see Mary S. So if that's not the format that you're looking for, you can do full name. Again, you can do first name and last initial, or you can do first name only. Okay, so you've got a couple options in terms of what you're going to allow your other participants to see. Then on top of that, you can also decide if you want to let your participants see the participant list, right? So maybe you don't want them to see who else is in the group, and that's a possibility as well. So you can uncheck that box, And you can also uncheck the box of, if your client has put, let's say, a profile picture for their Practice Better portal, you can make it so that the client would not see their profile photos by unchecking this box, okay? I'm just going to keep them checked for now. And now you go ahead and you start adding people to your group. So it's really simple. You're going to start by setting up your preferences, the name of your group, how you want it to be displayed, what format, so direct chat style or feed style. And then you can start selecting clients. Either you can go through them, one by one. You can select them all right here. Or at the top of the list, if you're using tags, you're going to see tags at the top. So I can say everyone in my Green Street Clinic, I'm adding them to this chat, okay? And then create. And then we're off to the races.
Yeah, so what kind of information or things are you going to put in these chats or in these posts? So you can obviously put text information, so you can type. You can also add images. So if your participants are sharing like the healthy meals that they're cooking or them doing some meditations, any kind of image. And to do that, you're just going to click on the plus sign, and then it'll let you upload it from your computer. So you would have the image on your computer, and then you would say open. And then in order to see it, you would hit the send button. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Wow.
My view right now.
That's your what?
I said it's my view right now.
Oh, nice.
No.
I wish. You can also add links. So if you want to add in a link to a URL to a website, maybe somebody just wants to share a site that has some recipes, or maybe a news article that came out, a research article on whatever topic the challenge is. And then you can also, on the mobile app, you can add voice notes. So you can actually record your voice, and then you can attach it and send it. It'll be a little recording that the other participants can listen to. So once you have a post, then you or the other participants can comment on the post under add a comment. So you can say, this Practice Better looks great. And then if you want to tag people, so if your post is directed at somebody specifically, you can put the @ sign and then start typing their name, or you can just scroll down in the list, and they will get a notification that they have a direct message or comment that they can reply to. Now, if you have a lot of people in here and lots of messages, and you have a couple messages, maybe instructions or a link that you want to keep at the top, you can pin the message that you want under the 3 dots. Okay, so you can pin it.
I'm trying to find one that's pin worthy.
Pin yeah, that's good. So then you can find those over to the right under the pin messages. So that's really helpful. Like if you have a 30-day or 60-day challenge or program going on, and this feed will get pretty long, so you want to have all your important messages there. And then you can, if you need to add new participants manually, you can go up there and click on that little person icon with the plus. Let's say, you had some other client that you felt, would really benefit from this challenge, and you wanted to add them to the group. You could easily and quickly do that.
Yeah, and that client, as we just added, Lewis Jones, is now, when he logs into his portal, at the top under the little bell, he's going to get a notification that we've added him to this group chat. So I know what you're seeing here is a lot of one-sided, but we're talking about, Addie Jones wrote a comment the other day, or earlier today, pardon me, and I can go ahead and respond to her. And the really great thing is, just like what you would be doing in, let's say, Facebook, you can start encouraging them to start supporting one another, as opposed to maybe responding to the same questions over and over again, like you would be doing if you were doing one-on-one chat with each of these people. So
yeah, they get the benefit of that community support and other participants that might be struggling with the same things or have similar health goals, and they can coach each other on.
I can't type when people are watching. Glass of wine. Right?
Second week.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
So who here has gone in and played around with or even set up a group chat, even if they're not using it yet? And who thinks that this is something that would be beneficial and make it easier to communicate with their clients? So let us know in the chat.
I think this is great.
So as Shelly mentioned, you can still attach files. So we did used to have this little paperclip symbol. Now that's changed to this plus sign. So that is where you can go and attach a file from your computer. So whether that be a handout, whether that be a video, whether that be an image, right? You can go ahead and you can upload that here. So if we're going back to like this kitchen clean out guide and I say, hey, I think this would be, hey group, I think this would be really great for you guys as you're just getting started your challenge. I won't type all that because we just saw how difficult it was for me to challenge a minute ago. But you would send it, and now you're sending it to one person instead of everyone. So a lot of the time, we are, right now we're talking about this group chat. We're not necessarily talking about it linked to a program, but we will talk about that very shortly. But when we are talking about programs, and you think about maybe your program stays the same, maybe not, maybe the bulk of it stays the same, but you want to be able to be a bit more flexible in terms of, going wherever your clients are needing more support. So this just kind of affords you that flexibility without having to tweak your actual program. You could just say, hey, here's a great resource. This question's been coming up a lot this week. Check this out.
Hey, Natalie, there's a couple quick questions. One about video. So we were talking about uploading images, but there's a question, can you upload video?
Yeah, so you can actually upload video in two ways. So one would be attach a file from your computer. So if you actually have the file, like the MP4 file on your computer, you can actually just upload it right here. So go to attach file again and choose that file from your computer. If you're looking at like a YouTube video, you could put the link like I did with the Practice Better.
Yeah.
And when you click on it, it would take them to, it would give them a pop-up. It would give them a pop-up and take them to that video.
Awesome.
So
yeah, and then are there any special consents that you would want to get from clients to use this?
that's not a question that I'm able to answer for sure. I would imagine that the consent would be similar to using something, whatever you would have your client sign if they were using any other, any other platform where you would be doing communication.
It may just be more of a disclaimer, but I think it really depends on what your scope of practice is and what type of program it is, like what you're going to be discussing. And, we always recommend checking with your attorney on any kind of program or anything that you're going to need as far as a disclaimer or something that's signed and more formal. But it really depends on your state and your scope of practice as well and what type of group it is, I think.
Definitely. And on top of that, we do have a safeguard in place. If someone does not want to participate in a group, they can remove themselves from the group as well. So that's also a nice little safeguard in case, you say, you put it out to everyone and some people just don't want to be involved.
Yeah, so as long as they know that they can opt out, so that you're really covered if they are aware, like, hey, you're in here, voluntarily. Like, nobody's forcing you to be in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So the other thing we have up here, so if we click on the 30-day challenge support, now if I wanted to make any edits to any of those settings I created when I created the group, I can click on the three dots, say edit the group, and now if I wanted to change it from a feed style to, let's say, more of a direct chat style, I could just go ahead and do that now. So you're just going to see the responses are going to be, just basically below the, it kind of makes a copy of the original post that they're responding to. And then you could click on the three dots and you can still pin it, or let me find one that was not made by me. Actually, I could still do it. So I'm just responding to myself here. So, but
I do
to show you. So yeah, so you can play around with a style, but as we mentioned, the newer posts are going to be at the bottom and the older ones are going to be at the top. So you can still see the images. You could still have all the same functionality of being able to share handouts. I can go ahead and view this one if I wanted to, without having to download it. And then of course you still always have that option to download it by clicking on the arrow in the top right hand corner. But it's a great way for clients to be able to share resources with you, and for you to be able to share resources with them.
So we have somebody on the phone who's raising their hand. Can we have one more question now?
Yeah, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea, did you have a question? Are you still there? She might have. I don't know how long she had her hand up. Oh wait.
Kayla says, oh, sorry.
I think she was muted.
Oh. Kayla, while we're getting her question, Kayla says, my attorney had me add verbiage to my consent form when it pertains to groups. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That as Shelley mentioned, we really just always want to encourage you to go straight to the source. We love Lisa Fraley. We absolutely love Lisa Fraley. If you have questions, we always direct everyone to her. She is the go-to person in this space. But for sure, check with an attorney about any questions you have about anything legal, whether it be for a group program or not. But yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that folks can see the group chats available and request to be added to the group chat? No, that's a great question. There's not a way that they can see the chat unless that they've been invited to it. That's a great question. So it's not like a Facebook group where you can go ahead and like search for different groups. You don't have that option here. So also too at the top here, right? If we clicked on the three dots, you could edit the group. You could also export the content of the chat, the text content. Okay, so just keep in mind this is not going to export the images. It's only going to give you basically a log of all of the text that's been shared in this chat. Okay, so if ever you needed to export that, you could do that as well. You could go ahead and remove participants. Maybe they've come to the end of their program or whatever the case might be, and I can take Lewis Jones out. I just added him. So you have the option to remove them. And then you have the option to decide what you're going to do with the text or any chat that he's contributed, right? So you can either delete the messages and threads that this person contributed to the chat, right? Or you can also keep the messages, but they won't see, but any participants remaining in the chat will not see Lewis Jones's name or profile picture. So basically, the section where we see, let's say here, we'll go back to chat style, or not chat style, pardon, feed style. It's easier to see it. So for example, no one would see, well, Wendy Smith is me, so let's find Addie Jones. If I removed Addie Jones from here, no one would see her profile picture or her name, whichever form you've chosen to display her name in. No one would see that information anymore, but the post would still exist. Does that make sense? And then another really cool piece to the group chat is sometimes you decide, hey, you know what? I want to be able to interact with this group with with video, right? You want to interact with your group with video. So we have an option, which is a new option too, is to use Zoom to interact with your group in a meeting session, like a group meeting. So this is only applicable to users who are using Zoom. So Zoom we are now integrated with Zoom. You can do this through the little gear up here and third-party integrations, and you can go ahead and link your existing Zoom account. So if you have a Zoom account, you can go ahead and link it right here under third-party integrations, or you can purchase through Practice Better a HIPAA-compliant Zoom account for $30. It's $30 per month instead of $200 per month if you go directly through Zoom, and you can do that under My Subscription. So if you are using either your own Zoom account that you link to Practice Better, or you purchased a HIPAA-compliant Zoom account through Practice Better, you're going to have the option to click on this little video chat up here in the top right-hand corner. I don't know if it's going to let me do this because I'm using Zoom currently, but let's try. It'll ask me to start an instant meeting, so I'm going to create the meeting. And now this is not exactly like Facebook Live, but I can share. I can either just launch the meeting, which I can't do because I'm already using Zoom. I can share the link, okay? Or I can copy it into the chat directly. So I'm just going to say copy it directly into the chat, and I can say something like, you know, hey everyone, I'm going to jump on a quick video session. Who can join me, right? For example, right? And then you would send that off, and you can let them join the meeting. Okay, so again, this is only for people using Zoom. If you're using Practice Better Telehealth, that is still limited to one-on-one. So if you're doing one-on-many video sessions, that's going to have to be through Zoom, and you can launch that right here. All right.
Yeah, so then if you look over to the right, you have, if you want to expand, you see that little down arrow above next to participants. So you can collapse that. If you want to see who all the participants in the group are, you can expand it. And there's all your participants. You'll see you as the owner or practitioner will see the full name in that list. You can also have your pinned messages for your quick reference. Again, we talked about that earlier. And then if anybody shares any documents within the post, you can look at shared documents here. So these documents are only going to be visible from the group chat. They will not be added to your client's record. So they're just whatever recipes or things people are sharing in that group. And then if you want to organizing your chats, you can open Messenger, and you can have your group chats at the top. You can click on that little favorite, the little star, and that's going to, any starred group chats are going to be at the top. So you can easily, if you're running like 20 different groups, you're going to be very busy, but you want to put your favorites or most active at the top.
Yeah, and like Shelly mentioned, you could do this with like your groups. The groups are automatically going to show up at the top, but you might, like Shelly said, if you have many groups, you might want to decide which ones are at the top of that list. And then also too, you can of course star like individual clients as well. Just adding to what Shelly was talking about, the participants in the top right-hand corner. So if you are looking at your list of participants, you can click on the three dots and you can click on Open Client Hub. So for example, if you wanted to take a look at maybe something Addie referenced, or you wanted to add something to her note, you could do that from here. So I can open her Client Hub and maybe make a quick note about something she referenced in the group chat, maybe something I want to talk to her about in our next one-on-one session, or maybe even just take a look at maybe some forms or some things that she's already completed. So yeah, you can use it how you'd like. So yeah, so let's talk, perfect, sorry. So yeah, so when we're talking about notifications, for your group notifications, you're not going to get emails about these. You're only going to get notifications at the top of your portal, or instant alerts if you have them enabled. So as you have new messages, there's going to be a new number notifying you of new messages above the messenger icon. You're also going to see an updated number on the notification cell, and all of the group notifications are going to be at the top. We're just going to give you a consolidated view of what's unread within the group notifications, but you can click on it to see all of the updates. So if I wanted to see, for example, this notification from Addie, I can click more info, and I'm going to get the pop-up with that specific message in case I wanted to comment on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You can also go back to, seeing your general notifications, so everything outside of messaging, or you can see all of the notifications, group chat, and general notifications all together. So we've added a couple other, enhancements in terms of managing these notifications. So if you head over to the little gear in the top right-hand corner, you can go to notification preferences here, and you can actually snooze these. So for example, you're thinking, if you don't already have instant alerts enabled, in the top right-hand corner, at least in Chrome, you get this little pop-up that tells you someone completed a form, or someone sent you a message, or whatever the case might be. So it's instant alerts. You can snooze those now. So you've got this little kind of alarm clock with a Z in the center of it. So if you click on snooze settings, now you can decide when you want to snooze those. So maybe you don't want to hear or see all these notifications, for example, when you're working with clients. So maybe I work with clients from 10 a.m. to maybe from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then maybe I also go back to seeing clients at like 2 to 6, for example, right? So you can snooze these alerts. You can snooze these alerts for up to 3 periods. So you can have at 3 time periods that you want to snooze these, and maybe the other period is going to be on the weekend. Maybe you say, I don't want any notifications on the weekend, because those are, that's my time. So you can go ahead and, let's say, 8 to midnight, or whatever the case might be, right? Now, the other really cool thing, now this is not so much a group, but it does affect groups of clients. So I'll tell you about it now. When we're snoozing alerts for instant messengers, so this is one-on-one, you can actually allow clients to mark a message as urgent. It doesn't really do anything other than actually show you the notification. So the only thing that will happen is that we will actually show you the notification that Mary Smith has sent you a message, and you'll see that message, as opposed to having to come in and check your chat. So no crazy alarms go off, but we use the urgent word to hopefully deter people from,
It's just overriding the snooze, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Absolutely. Okay. So these are going to go across the board. These are going to snooze your alerts across all devices where you have the instant alerts enabled. How's everyone doing? Okay. I'm assuming everyone's still there. Okay, so
we're taking it all.
We're taking it all in. All right. Okay, so now I want to talk to you just about what does this mean for group programs. So I basically just showed you, this is how you can set up a group chat, right? So going to your little messenger icon in the top right-hand corner, or clicking on your messenger in the bottom right corner, or going to messages. Again, there are a few ways you can get there. But now, what does this mean for your groups? So let's go over to My Practice and My Programs, and let's pretend we're running a group program, okay? So for example, if this Healthy Me program, I could actually create a chat that's linked to this program. So I'm going to click on Edit, and I'm going to click on Advanced Options. And here we'll see this option for group chat. We're going to enable the group chat for this program. Choose a name for it. So Healthy Knee Program Support, for example. Feed style, we'll leave all this the same, and we'll save our changes. If you already have clients enlisted or enrolled in this group chat here, you're going to have this pop-up that's going to show up and ask if you want to add those existing clients to the group chat. So you can say no and you can add them later, or you can go ahead and add them now and it's going to be done for you. Okay. So for those of you who are already running group programs, and you don't want to have to go in and add these clients one by one to the group chat, you can just enable the group chat in your program settings and then automatically add them. So just say, click add now, and they're automatically going to get added to the group chat tied to the group program. Okay, so we'll say add now. So now these 7 clients have been added to the group chat, or at least the ones who have access to the client portal have been added. And anyone else that gets added to this program will also be given access to the chat. So now, in addition to being able to see our group chats from the messenger in the bottom right-hand corner, from the messenger in the top right corner, or for messages, now you also will see this feed tab right directly in your program. So again, even when clients are accessing their program content from the client portal, they can go right to the feed as well. And any conversation that's taking place in that group will be displayed here. Who's going to use this in their programs? Kayla, there was a question about searching group chat. You can't search it yet, but that is definitely coming. Stephanie, you raise your hand. I think that means you're going to use it.
Andrea raised her hand. I don't know if she has a question. Kim?
We're assuming this means they're going to use it.
Okay.
Anna, will you be adding the ability to do live event as part of this, kind of like the Facebook Live? I hope I think this question came before we talked about the Zoom video, but Anne, let me know if that didn't answer your question. You likely won't be doing lives like a Facebook Live, but you will definitely continue to have the access to do it through a Zoom meeting. I hope that answered your question. Oh, group chat says host disabled attendee chat. That's what's happening. Thank you, Susan. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. Can we try that again? Can someone try typing into the chat and letting me know if that works? Yeah, that's why you guys are so quiet. I was like, I'm so excited about this, and there was no excitement. All right. Okay, we're back. Thank you. Thank you, Susan, for letting us know. All right. All right. I was on the verge of tears. All right. This is what happens when I give Shelly permission.
What did I do?
I don't know. I'm just blaming it on you.
It was probably me.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. No crying on Practice Better.
No. Jerry asks, if I get the HIPAA compliant Zoom through Practice Better, do clients need anything on their end? No, you don't. Or no, they don't. They will have to do the mandatory Zoom download because it is an external app. They will have to download that the first time that they're using it on whatever device, but it's going to be the same as if, like the first time you ever log into Zoom. They're going to get the notification through Practice Better. And I know this is a bit off on a tangent, but the Zoom right now through Practice Better is enabled for the one-on-one sessions and the group meetings within a group chat. The group scheduling for like group classes and that sort of thing is going to be available very shortly.
So there's a good comment about one of the participants. I think this will allow clients to be more focused and away from distractions, say in a Facebook group. And I agree. There are so many distractions that sometimes take you away from what you're focused on. So that's great.
Yeah, I agree. And like, sometimes well, yes, I agree to that. And, sometimes we're telling people disconnect, right? We're saying disconnect from social media, disconnect from your phone, disconnect, and then we're saying, well, but log in to go do this. So this is, not a social media platform. This is a support place. This is where they can be connected to whatever it is that they're working on. And like you guys mentioned, not distracted by everything else that's happening in social media. It has its place, but I definitely understand that not everyone wants to be connected. All right. So we talked about setting up your group chat. I just want to make sure that everyone's clear also too. I want to make sure you guys are clear on how to use the group chat, what it does do, what it doesn't do, and then also how to include it in your program. So are there questions about how to use the group chat and what it does?
There is a question about what do you do if anybody's getting rowdy, and can you delete their comments specifically? You have rowdy participants.
Yeah, you can't delete their comments, but you can remove them from the group and remove their posts that way.
Have really good, solid guidelines for your group.
Yes, sure. It's going to take some moderating, like any group would. But you do have that option to remove them and not add them back. Now, one other thing, just in terms of like, before we talk about another aspect of group chat, sometimes you want to be taking clients or participants from, let's say, one group chat to another, right? Maybe they graduate from one program and now you want to take them out of there and move them to, like an after program support. So as I mentioned, you can do this using tags, right? So if we go back to our messages, and I wanted to add clients, I'm going to see the tags at the top, right? So if I wanted to add my clients from the 30-day detox, I could just check mark that tag, and let's say there were 100 people in there, all of those people would get added to this group. The way the way you would set that up is you would first set up in your practice, under my practice, under automation, there is an automation where you can actually apply tags to clients based on a program that they've enrolled in. So to do that, you would just say update client tags. You would add a tag to clients who enroll in a program, so then it's easy to move them from one group to another if that's what you planned on doing with your clients as they graduate from one program to another, or if you wanted to make one support group for everyone in all programs. Does that make sense? All right, I'm assuming it makes sense. Oh,
yeah, there's a question about when you start a program, where exactly do you upload the document? Like if there are rules to a detox program, maybe a guide or something you want to add at the beginning, where would you upload the document?
I would probably make that part of like your first module, or any documentation that you ask your clients to sign, as part of entering into a module. So I would either make it included in a form, like a form or a waiver, that they sign that. You can bold it and give them the rules, or you can also put it into the, the module content. That's what I would recommend. We are looking at, I don't have a timeline for it, but allowing you to, right now when Shelly talked about pinning messages to the right-hand side here so you could find it quickly, these messages are specific to what you want to see. So these are not going to be pinned to your client's pin messages section. However, we are looking at allowing you to pin stuff to the top of the group. So that way it would be easy for them to also find something that you wanted to highlight. So that's something we're looking at. But in the meantime, I would definitely put it like in whatever paperwork you're having them agree to, and again, also too in the content itself, in the content of your program itself. There's a question about recording Zoom meetings. Can you record Zoom meetings? Yes, you can. That's one of the really great benefits of using Zoom is that you do have the option to record. So if you're doing a one-on-one session, you can record it. If you're doing even the group session, you can record that as well. Just keep in mind that if you do opt into the HIPAA compliant Zoom account, you can only record locally. So that means you can record to the device you're recording on, so onto your hard drive. Whereas if you're using just a regular Zoom account that's not HIPAA compliant, you have the option to record locally or to the cloud. Can you please go back up so I can review how you got here again? Liz, can you remind me of where here is? And I'd be happy to show you. Could this chat feature be used to offer a promo for all previous current clients for an upcoming program that you're running versus trying to tag people in your newsletter? It could be a place where you're just going to communicate with clients, although what I would be mindful of is, do you want clients to be able to respond? Because this is really allowing you to communicate on both ends. So it's allowing you to communicate with them, but it's also opening the door for them to communicate with you. We are actually going to chat about kind of one-way communication in just a minute. Okay. It won't let you, I can't access the group chat feature, won't let me comment. Let's see. Is group chat still all good? Okay. So group chat and Practice Better, because I'm not sure if it's Practice Better or Zoom related, but group chat and Practice Better, if that's what you're talking about, you can access it by going to the messaging at the top right-hand corner here next to the bell, the messenger in the bottom right-hand corner, and expand or maximize the chat, and all of your chats will be on the left-hand side. Or if you're in your program and you do have a group chat included in your program, let's go to manage, you're going to see a feed tab as well. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes, clients can access the mobile devices. Great, Shelley, thanks. So yeah, actually, as Shelley was mentioning, the group chat can be done across, you know, hard, like computer, laptops, or mobile devices as well. Okay.
Yeah, so what if so what if you were you had updated office hours, or maybe you're launching a follow-on program to your current program that you want to let people know about, or you're announcing, maybe you're going to do a live Q&A webinar that week, or you're leaving on vacation, and so you want to send out what's called a broadcast message. So this is different than the group chat because people aren't going to be chatting back to you. You're just broadcasting a message to a group of people. So that's the other new feature here. If you hit that red fast action button and you say new broadcast.
Yeah, so as Shelley mentioned, this is our one-sided communication. So if we're, like Shelley, the example of, you know, if our office hours are changing, I'm going away, I have a new program coming up, you know, whatever it is you want to communicate, could be to a handful of clients, it can be to all of your clients. So I'm just going to say new office hours. And now you have a couple options. So the options are, so this, just to rewind here to remind you, this broadcast messaging is available in the Plus plan, okay? So lots of options to communicate with your clients before you're ready for the Plus plan, but when you are at the Plus plan level, then you can also use the broadcast messaging to communicate with multiple clients or all clients at once. So it's just that clear distinction there. So the broadcast messaging, so you can send it as a direct chat. So that just means send everyone that we're going to select on this list to get a direct chat from you. You can choose to send them a direct chat or send them an email if they don't actually have access to the portal or access to chat, right? So the system will send them an email if they don't get chat. You can choose to just send the notification or the broadcast message purely via email, or you can do it both. You can send it both through chat and email, okay, to really cover your bases. So I'm just gonna say send an email. Actually, I'll send, here we go. We'll just choose this one, select direct chat and email. Now, when do you want to send it? Do you want to send it out right now? Or maybe, hey, the office hours are starting on August 1st, maybe. Okay, so I can choose, let's say July 22nd. I want it to go out first thing in the morning at 7 a.m. And then the next page is where I'm going to decide who's going to get notified of my new office hours. So maybe it's only my Green Street Clinic client. Maybe it's my Green Street Clinic office hours that are changing. So I can go ahead and select these 4 clients by just selecting the tag, or I can go and choose multiple if I wanted to, or my whole list, okay? So you've got this option at the top to select or unselect all of your clients, okay? Then next, here's where I'm gonna write what I want to say in the direct chat. So, you know, new office hours. Again, you can write up to 5,000 characters in terms of what you want to say to them in the direct chat message, okay? And then we're going to proceed to the next page. And if you didn't have an option for email, you wouldn't see this next page, but we did choose direct message and email. So now we're going to decide what we want to say in our email. So email has a couple fields that a direct message does not have. So this is where we're going to choose our email subject line, you know, office hours update, and we can say starting August 1st, right? And then whatever message I entered into the group chat section is just going to be automatically filled into this section as well. So the body of the email, which you can also edit. You can go ahead and add placeholders if you wanted. So put the contact's first name. Not that that's the right place to put it, but I can bold things. I can strike through. So you've got some formatting options here, and you can also put a link. So maybe you want to link them to a YouTube video or your new office video or whatever the case might be, okay? So you would set up the direct chat message, and then you would set up the email message, and then say next, review everything. So you're sure that everyone on this list should be receiving the notifications, and you're going to see how they will be notified based on what permissions they have, and then we're going to schedule it. So Stephanie, in terms of the question you had about offering, letting our clients know about promos that are coming up, this might be a really great option. And then also too, for clients who may not have access to the portal because maybe they're not working with you anymore, you could still send that via email. So I think this would be a better option to a group chat.
Yeah, so in addition to the broadcast message, I know Natalie had already talked about our snooze notification, so that's really awesome. We also have the new autoresponder. So if you want to set up autoresponder, you can go into telehealth and messaging. And you're going to scroll down here under edit settings. So this is if you're getting a direct one-on-one message and you want to respond, if you're on vacation, or maybe you want to let people know, this has to do with setting healthy boundaries with your clients and just setting those expectations so that they're not disappointed if you don't get back to them in 5 minutes. So maybe you say, that you will get back to them within 24 hours. And then if you do get back to them in, say, an hour, they feel like, wow, you got back to them faster versus not letting them know what time to expect. So you can set up to 3 autoresponders for different time slots. So depending on, there might be days where you have back-to-back clients, so you're going to have like longer times that you aren't going to be getting back to people.
Yeah, just a correction, 3 time periods, not 3 autoresponders. Sorry. It's okay. And these are going to be displayed every 30 minutes. So if a client comes in and says, hey, Shelly, I just wanted to tell you that I did really well and this is what I had for lunch. Oh, and I forgot I also had, they're not going to see the autoresponder again before another 30 minutes. So they can go in and send you 5 messages and they won't get this autoresponder after every message. They will just get it, every 30 minutes, not so long as they send a message. Okay, so they're not going to continue to get this autoresponder without having sent you a message first.
Cool.
So the broadcast messaging, has anyone in here been using the broadcast messaging, or is anyone looking forward to using it to communicate with their clients a little bit more easily? One thing, if you are, while you're letting me know in the chat if you're using the broadcast messaging or planning to use it now that you know about it, one thing you might want to think about is setting up an email, like a reply to email. Okay, so if you are using not the autoresponder, now I'm talking about autoresponders, but if you're using the broadcast messaging, under telehealth and messaging, you can also set up I think it's under client. You can also set up a reply to email. We'll find it. Where do we go? Oh, I think it's under notification. Sorry. Yeah. Should get under notifications. Oh yeah, right. Reply to at the top. Sorry guys, took you on the detour. So if you want to if you want to use the broadcast messaging in the email format and you want clients to be able to respond to that email, right? Because if you're using direct message, of course they can respond to your messages from there. But if you want them to also be able to respond to your emails, you're going to want to set up the reply to email address in your notification settings. So you're going to click on the top gear, right? The settings and preferences gear in the top right-hand corner. Notification preferences, which is second in the list. And you're going to click on client notifications. So this is where you're going to put in your email address if you want to give your client the ability to respond to a broadcast message, for example, that's been sent through Practice Better. And then this is also going to apply to, let's say you sent your client a protocol, they could respond to that email as well, okay? So just keep in mind that if you want your clients to be able to respond to broadcast messages that are sent via email, you're going to want to set up this reply to email address here in your settings. This will also apply to all emails that Practice Better sends out on your behalf. So including things like you have a form to complete, or you've published a new protocol. Cool. Jerry says broadcast looks great. Susan, thanks for showing the broadcast feature. Perfect. I hope you guys love it. Are there shared resources available on the portal similar to the document template? Shared resources. I'm not sure, Liz, if you can clarify what sort of resources you'd like to see or that you're looking for. I'd definitely be happy to let you know if those are available.
There's a question about Zoom.
Yes.
I just can't justify getting the HIPAA version of Zoom.
Yeah.
Can you turn it on or off, essentially when you need it?
Yeah, so you can upgrade, downgrade to Zoom. So if you don't need it every month, you can use it for the months that you need it. It's $30 instead of $200 a month. So definitely way more affordable. So I understand not being ready to use it beforehand, but you can still remove it from your add-ons if you don't need it for a few months. The other thing too is there is a larger client limit. So with, I think, the traditional group, I think it's called the Pro. I can't think off the top of my head of the first paid Zoom account where you can have up to, I believe it's 100 participants. In this one, you can have 300. So there's a bit of, one, it's way more affordable, but then two, you also have way more room to grow as well. So hopefully you could definitely take advantage of the more affordable HIPAA compliant Zoom account for sure.
So Stephanie is asking about the HIPAA compliant Zoom is $200 a month for the HIPAA compliant version directly with Zoom, not with
Correct. Yes, correct. That is directly with Zoom, not with us for sure. So if you are doing HIPAA compliant Zoom directly through Zoom, it is $200 a month. It's insane. But not for you, not anymore.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard that a couple years ago. I couldn't believe
I know, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Okay, if you share the Zoom link, can people who aren't in Practice Better still watch the video live? Absolutely. So you have the ability to share that link anywhere you'd like to, for sure, 100%. Yeah. Let me go here. Sorry, let me find where my mouse is caught on a different page. Okay. Perfect. So how's everyone feeling about what we talked about today? Do you feel like you understand if you wanted to launch a group chat with your either group or just group of clients maybe who are working on similar topics? Do you feel like you know what you would be getting into? Because I know sometimes it's a bit scary to launch something new because you don't know what it looks like and you may not know what the clients are going to see. That's another thing. I can show you what the clients are going to see. But how are you feeling about that? Do you feel comfortable with how to set these up and then what the experience might be like? Jen, yes. Liz, a bit overwhelmed, lots to learn. I agree. I totally understand. And Liz, I think the big piece is because, as you guys know, especially those of you who've been with us for longer, we are very ambitious in rolling out new features to support you guys the best that we can. So don't, I think the biggest piece is use what you need and grow into the other stuff either as you need it or as you have time to learn it. There's so much that you can do on the platform and still get a lot of value for it without having to use everything. So definitely lean in with wherever you are and with whatever you need, whatever makes the most sense to you right now, whatever will be the most helpful to you right now, and then build on with time. Someone asked about the broadcast. Stephanie, broadcast only being for the premium account right now. So yes, so that's part of our $65 plan. So great to know that we have this option through Practice Better. We're still developing group programs. Perfect. So then you'll be able to include it. And also too, if you have a couple of clients that you're comfortable with and you don't mind, having them be your test, your test subjects as you get familiar and you get comfortable with the group chat, that might be a really great option, is asking them to participate in your group chat, even if it's just a couple of you, so that you feel comfortable and you're not feeling like you're throwing 100 people or even 20 people into something that's so brand new.
There's a question about where do you sign up for the HIPAA compliant Zoom? Where can you click to get that subscription?
Yeah, so you're going to do that by going to, you'll see your profile menu in the top right-hand corner, and you're going to go to your subscription. So under My Subscription, now there's an option for add-on. So if we click on view add-ons, now I already have one, but you're going to see additional storage, and right under that, you're going to see HIPAA compliant Zoom. So in there, you can either purchase a new Zoom account. So if you don't already have one, you can get a new one. And if you already have a Zoom account that's maybe not HIPAA compliant, but you'd like to switch it over to a HIPAA compliant one, you would do the same exact thing, and you would just put in the details of your existing Zoom account. And you'll get an email from Zoom asking them if you want to switch it over to, you want to let Practice Better manage your Zoom account. So top right-hand corner under My Subscription, and then it's going to, you're just going to click on View Add-ons. Okay. Perfect. Okay, there's something. HIPAA compliant Zoom, I think you already answered this, Shelly, but if you didn't, it's $30. Perfect. Let me see if there's anything else. Shelly, do you see anything that came up?
So if we Practice Better manages their Zoom account, then will their Zoom extension for Google Calendar still work?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, we can follow up, Chris. Follow up.
Yeah, I would check. Can you actually check with our health team? I'm not sure if anything would change there. I want to say no, but I'll let them give you the formal answer because I don't want to misguide you. Susan said this has been a great session. The first one I've joined. Now I'm very motivated to make sure to participate and further learn how to use Practice Better for our practice. That's awesome. That's the thing. Shelly and I just want to connect and be helpful and, answer questions that you have and introduce you guys to new features and new ways of using them. So we're always so happy when you guys find these helpful. Perfect. Kayla says, I know I'm doing some repeats of what Shelly's done, so I'm sorry, I'm realizing this now. But Kayla says, I love the group feature has been released and something I can grow into. I'm glad there are other options that I don't have to be a Facebook group where so much censorship is happening. There's no security, privacy. We understand that completely. Just something I highly value. So do we. And so do our health and wellness clients, right? I would certainly value that or I certainly value that when I'm the client. I'm excited to see what else you're going to release. Thank you for creating this as an alternative. We've got some really awesome stuff coming up. So definitely always working on new things. All right. Shelly, were there any questions that you saw?
I don't see, let's see. Yeah, so they're going to send messages to the help desk, and if there isn't anything else, just some positive feedback. When will you be adding the option for a second login?
It's coming, Damien. Everything that we're working on now is all things that we need for being able to have multiple people in one account. So I know it might sound like we've forgotten you. We have not. Anyone waiting on multiple logins or multiple providers, I know you see these other features, and I hope you don't think we've forgotten you. Everything that we are working on is so that you will have a better experience when you can add another person to your team. So it is coming sooner than later. But yeah, keep checking in with us. Scheduling forms, that's another great question. That's part of our next update. So right now, we have just done this first phase of the Zoom integration. The second phase of the Zoom integration is coming in a few weeks, where you'll be able to actually schedule group sessions or video session, group sessions and group calls, pardon me, beyond just the group sessions for a video within a group chat. In that same update, we're going to be introducing scheduling forms. That is a long-winded way to say that. But yes, we're introducing that update with the second phase of Zoom has a ton of other things coming, like scheduling forms and other automations that will make your workflow even more streamlined and automated. Chris, it's just scheduling forms, just basically scheduling forms outside or independent of sessions. So right now you can automatically send your forms based on sessions that are booked, but you'll be able to schedule them even though sessions are not booked on a recurring basis. So if you wanted to send a form out once a month or every week for 6 weeks, you'll be able to do that. Caroline, thanks for answering about the team access. We really so glad that it's still top. It is still a top priority, Caroline. Lots of people are waiting on it as well. So, all right, thank you. Chris, we're talking. It's specific to forms, not emails. All right. Thank you guys so much. If there aren't any other questions, if there are, then we'll get you to send those to our support team. They love helping you out, so you can send your questions to help@practicebetter.io. I'll send the replay out to this tomorrow, making sure I actually recorded this. And I did. We'll send the replay out to this tomorrow. In the meantime, let us know if you have questions. Drop an email to our customer success team, and of course, let us know what you love to see in the platform. Your feedback is invaluable. All right, thanks everyone. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.